Hey everybody, welcome back to the channel. Today's video is kind of a preview of what I'm playing at locals tonight. So if you tune in to my local stream tonight on Twitch slash Brody1 slash whatever on the Brody1 channel, you'll see me playing this into my locals. We're playing Mothra, Divine Moth. They're 720 air, good, and order. Giant and monster tags. Before we get into it, we are a good symbol main deck. The reason why I wanted to build this deck was because I wanted to play the good symbol main, and I wanted to play Mothra, but I also wanted to play Mothra in a way where we're a little more aggressive. We are going to be pressuring our opponent with some really good like value style attacks, and then we're going to go in for some like big hitters like with some Spirit Gun Finals, Upward Raikuken, and Alchemical Satchel Toss. But let's get into Mothra. She has two abilities: a response tenacious after this attack is blocked, that is yours or your rivals. The next attack this turn gets +3 or -2 speed, so we're going to overvalue speed. We're going to like overvalue with these nice attacks into just making them very hard to block. We're going to, usually the first one will get blocked, and then the next one won't get blocked, and then so on and so forth. So we can kind of time that out where we just play this giant move with like 3 extra speed. And enhance rival's turn, commit. This attack is considered completely blocked during the block step. So that allows us to at least have one perfect block in hand every turn. And then being able to just chain block after that, giving all of our rivals' attacks -2 speed. So let's get into the attack package. The attack package is really just basing off of Queen of the Monsters, Senses Ho, and Invisible Infiltration for like our setups and the way to progress our game state. And then we got Double Spirit Blast to make our moves super strong. And then I'll come like our kind of like our finisher moves. We'll go into like a Spirit Gun Final, Alchemical Satchel Toss, and an Upward Raikuken. Electric Moth is just for some draw. So let's get into the attacks a little more in detail. We got a 5 difficulty 3-check Queen of the Monsters, 1 low block, 4 high for 7. We get 2 abilities: Blitz, spend a momentum, add 1 foundation from your discard pile to your card pool, draw a card, and then we got Blitz, build 1 card from your card pool face up or face down. That allows us to really kind of cherry pick what we want out of our discard pile, and then build it possibly. Or we can lead off with a foundation or an asset, slam this on a 6, and then build that face down or face up actually. We can build attacks face down, everything else goes face up. And then speaking of building attacks face down, we get Senses Ho, 4 difficulty, 3-check, 2 mid-block, 4 mid-4, EX2, charge punch. And then we got Blitz, add 1 foundation from your stage to your hand. We get to build the next foundation we play this turn. This card's really good at cycling, so we go attack, Queen of the Monsters, Senses Ho, pick up that attack we just built, and then we get to play a foundation and then play that attack again. This allows us to really progress our games, our board, while building and clearing our card pool at the same time. In tandem with Queen of the Monsters, we get to build, like, play a foundation, progress our board, and then keep going from there. 3 copies of Invisible Infiltration, 4 difficulty, 3-check, 3 low for 5, +2 mid-block, Hagakure Breaker 2, doesn't matter, and then enhance. This attack gets +1 damage for every 4 foundations in your rival stage. We do need some damage, this allows it, but the really real good thing about this card is the enhance. Remove a foundation from either player's stage. After this attack resolves, the owner of the removed foundation builds it from the removed pile face up. So we can reset a bunch of foundations, like let's say Third Wielder Fajin. We can commit when our move gets speed. We can reset it to get more damage. We can reset all of our defensive ones. We can reset our card draw ones. We just get to reset a bunch of cool things. On the off chance like Team Hero 15 or Airship get flipped somehow, we're able to just rebuild those. It's very cool. It allows us just to refresh our stage. Well, I guess reflip our stage after using flips, or commit. We can commit a card and then we get to re-ready it. Double Spirit Blast is really the best lead off we can use. 5 difficulty, 3-check, 4 mid for 6, 2 mid block. Enhance. Your rival's block modifiers get +1 this turn. I know this seems like it's like a numbo with Mothra, being able, we want our rival to block 1 move so we can get 3 speed on the next, but this just makes it harder, right? Like if we can add some extra damage onto this, make it like 8 or 9 damage, it becomes a little more enticing to block. And then we can just keep moving on, and then we get 3 speed on the next guy, and then technically it's 4 speed because of the block modifier, yada yada yada. Also, it gives Echo, so it's a 2-in-1 attack that we're able to add +2 to their block mods that they can't really interact with sometimes. It just allows us to really push moves down their throat. Now, one of my favorite finishers in the game, Spirit Gun Final, 5 difficulty, 3 check, 5 mid 5, +2 mid block. Breaker 1, which is really sick. Enhance, commit 3 foundations, this attack gets 5 speed. Speed usually isn't that big of a deal. But lose 3 health, this attack gets 5 damage, is very nice. So if we're able to add this at the end of a string, after they just blocked a move, we get to add, we don't even have to do the 5 speed. We can just play this guy. We have 3 speed carryover with Mothra's response, so it's an 8 mid for 10 as a finisher move. Very cool. And it also gives us some breaker as needed, and that's usually really nice to have some breaker on an attack that we don't have to really worry about. We're always going to try to keep our attacks in our hand. This gives us a little bit of fluctuation on offense and defense. Now, 1x Alchemical Satchel Toss, 4 difficulty, 3 check, 3 low for 5, 2 low block, powerful 2, range, tech, and weapon. Response after the attack is blocked, your rival commits 2 foundations. So this could be used as a lead-in. It could be used as a little poke lead-in, or it could also just be end of the string dunk if we have enough momentum. A lot of the times people, to get around Mothra, won't block their moves, so they can block later ones, and they'll eat the early moves and then block the later ones because they won't have 3 speed attached. So this actually makes them pay for it. Anything with powerful is really good. Anything with echo is very good because our rival will tend to just eat the early ones and then block the bigger scary ones. So this gives them some incentive to block if we dump powerful 2 on it, because if it's blocked, then your rival commits 2, so it's kind of a stun 2 move on a responsibility. Also, it's just at the end of a string, just end of string dunk. We can just add a couple dip up a couple momentum to this, make it a 3 low for 9, make them think about it, especially if they're trying to block things early, or if we Spirit Gun Final, makes their block mods even. Spirit Gun double Spirit Blasted, makes their blocks a little harder. It's just a really all around good move that I wish I could fit a second copy in. Maybe Invisible Infiltration ends up getting dunked, dipped down to a 2 of, because we really don't have a lot of unflipped targets offensively. It's mostly defensively. Maybe it's something to think about. Now, I really wanted some card draw on. We have some card draw defensively and some pseudo card draw on offense. I really wanted something that we're able to dig deep into our deck, and Electric Moth was an easy add-in. 4 difficulty, 3 check, 3 high for 4, +2 mid block, charge ranged. Enhance, discard a card, draw 2 cards. If our rival has 10 or more foundations, draw 3 cards instead. Just allows us just to dig deeper into our deck for more attacks. And then Giant Enhance, ready your character after this attack resolves. So we only really commit our character defensively, but offensively we can use her to pass checks and then ready our character. And then so our character is just ready going into our rival's turn. This allows us to kind of use her, kind of like characters like Froppy in the old days of MHA1, where we'd be able to ready our character just to use her to pass checks. Now, I wanted another end of the turn dunk, kind of like Alchemical Satchel Toss or Double Spirit Blast. I like to double up, triple up on some things just for redundancy, and Upward Raikuken was the best option in my opinion. 4 difficulty, 3 check, 0 high block, 4 mid for 4, powerful 3 charge punch. Response after this attack is blocked, clear 1 card from your card pool for each momentum spent to pay the cost of this attack's powerful, max 3. So we happen to throw this at the end of a string, and we're throwing this like on our 3rd or 4th attack. We still have a couple more. We dip a couple power, we use the powerful a couple times, clear a couple cards, make this really threatening, because if they're blocking the attack prior, it's a 7 mid for X, base 4, and we can just, send them to the moon and back if we need to. Now, getting into our assets, we got 3 Team Hero 15, 2 difficulty, 5 check, 1 mid block. Enhance, your attack gets +1 damage for each foundation that has left your stage this turn, max 2. Very easy to get with Senses Ho and Steadfast Resolve in our deck. And then remove, build 1 foundation of difficulty 4 or less from your discard pile. That's the most broken ability on an asset ever. We can build any of our foundations in a pinch if we need it. Also, it's a really neat way just to have +2 damage on all of our moves, because a lot of people aren't afraid of Mothra unless they can put damage on their moves, and this allows us to put damage on moves. Now we're playing a Queen of the Monsters deck and a Census Ho deck. Might as well be playing Military Airship. 3 difficulty, 5 check, 2 high block, unique. Enhance Commit, freeze this card, add 1 card from your card pool to your hand. So if we're Census Hoeing and Queen of the Monsters looping, this allows us to double buy back some moves. Let's say we need to dig even deeper. We can, dig deep. We can use the Enhance on Electric Moth to draw some cards, lift it, then do it again. Same thing with double Spirit Blast. If we don't have momentum, we can play double Spirit Blast on a 5, do the Enhance, and then lift it, and then do it again. To double up. We can even triple up if we have a momentum and make them not being able to block at all the entire turn. Now we're going to play Protector of the Jelly Bean or Protector of Life. It's the best action to play in this character, in my opinion, outside of Filled with Doubt. 2 difficulty, 5 check, +2 mid block, breaker 1. Response after you block with this card, the attack deals no damage, and we get to add a power token to our stage. Gives us a little bit of breather on like a little throw hate, a little off zone hate, so our blocks are a little more skewed to mids because we have these in the deck. The attack deals no damage, and we get a power token to save for later. So it's almost like we have Powerful 2 on lock whenever we want it. Like if we're gonna do a Spirit Gun Final Alchemical, we can turn any of our moves into a bomb, right? It can make Queen of the Monsters 9+ damage, and it just makes our moves more scary. Just because people usually take like 4 to 5 damage. They don't really tend to block or interact with it, but if we add extra damage to these moves, they make them very scary and worth blocking, so we can make our rival overextend defensively to really kill them. Now going into our foundations, we got 4 copies of Spirit Beast Poo, 0 difficulty, 6 check, +3 mid block, ally. After you block with this card, build a committed. Allows us to ramp. We are able to block our first move with Mothra and then give -2 speed, then maybe get some extra minus speed from our foundations to block and ramp on our rival's turn. It's just a 0/6. I was sitting at 6 zeros, but I wanted to cut the deck down to under 70, and I just led on 4 of these. So if we see them, we see them. We don't, we have 6s in our deck. 2 copies is Defined Defender, 1 difficulty, 5 check, +3 mid block, enhance flip. If this is your rival's 3rd attack or greater this combat phase, add 1 card from your card pool to your hand, so we can block with Mothra, block with something else, and then on the next attack, we can lift it to block again, especially if we're chain blocking with Protector of Lives. Our rival's going to be very, very sad. Now I wanted some, I love deck scouting cards, so like, Destined for Mainstream Success and Tarot Reading. Unfortunately, it's a 4 check, but it's just right up my alley. I love knowing the top card of our deck. So it's a 1 difficulty, 4 check, 3 high block, enhance flip, name a card type. Then if we reveal that card type, we get to add it to our hand. If not, we get to know what we're checking, which is great. So we usually call attack to see if we have an attack on top. We grab the attack. If it is an attack, if not, we get to leave the 5 check on top, and then we just get to know what we're checking, which is great. Especially in a deck that wants to string out a lot of moves, this card's very good. We got 1 copy of Strobigen's Message, 1 difficulty, 5 check, +4 mid block, ally unique, response flip. After you play a block against breaker 2, blocking with Protector of Life is the best target because we go breaker 1, then breaker 2, we breaker 3 them, it deals no damage, and we get a power token. It sounds very good. Now we got 4 copies of Steadfast Resolve, 1 difficulty, 5 check, 3 low block, destroy a foundation on response. After an attack is played, it gets +1 or -1 damage, so it extends our damage potential, especially if we have a team hero out. It's very easy to ramp it to 2 almost immediately, and then also it gives us a little bit of defensive health gain, not health gain, but it extends our health total by giving -1 damage and maybe changing the half block math, and then we're able to just go from there. It's a very good offensive, it's a really good piece offensively and defensively because it's all done on response, and it's very hard to interact with that. Well, we got 4 copies of Resting Up, 1 difficulty, 5 check, 3 low block, enhance commit. This attack gets -2 speed. If our character is committed, we get -3 instead. So being able to stack So we go Mothra, block our first one. We're committed. We get -3 speed plus the -2 speed from prior. So from the prior response, so we get -5 speed on their next move. There's no way we're not blocking it, and then we can keep chain blocking the -2 speed across our rival's turn. I love this card in Ymir because on backside, transform side of Ymir, she had a commit for -3 speed. So we were able to go -3 speed into -3 speed into -3 speed defensively, and it was a really good defensive tool. And I really love resting up as a card. It's one of my favorite cards out of Yu Hakusho Dark Tournament. Yeah, so this is actually right up my alley. And then I wanted some response card draw, and this gave us perfect right. This gave us the card we needed. It is a curious about quirks, 1 difficulty, 5 check, 3 mid block, response flip. After your rival plays a character ability, we draw a card. Our rival's always going to touch the character offensively, defensively if they can. It's almost a guarantee this will just give us a card whenever we need it, when our rival plays it. And it's on response, so it's really hard to interact with. 2 copies of Wide Awake, 2/6, 2 difficulty, 6 check, 2 low block response. After your rival seals 1 or more of your cards, unseal them and seal this card. So basically, this just redirects, like, Filled with Doubt. Power of the Monsters is another way, because if Mothra gets committed, we die. So it's just a good way to unseal our character if need to, and other options if possible. 2 copies of Substitute Member, 2 difficulty, 5 check, 3 high block. Enhance flip, changes the attack speed to 3. On the off chance that we can't use Mothra, this is here. It's always nice to double up on some effects. We like to add some extra defense. Also, it can turn our attack to 3 speed if our rival just dumps it enough. Sometimes it's okay for them to block a move because then we get 3 speed on the next move. But yeah, this just allows us to defend and possibly offend. And then since we're dealing with giving a speed bonus, as a floated effect, this allows us to use this Third Wielder Fajin, 2 difficulty, 4 check, 3 low block, response tenacious. After you commit this card to pay a cost, we get to add it to momentum. But the real kicker is response commit. After your attack receives a speed bonus of 3 or greater, it gets 3 damage. So with Mothra, we do get to give it +3 on our next move. And then we can commit Third Wielder Fajin to get 3 damage and then snap this to momentum. It's very, very good on a Queen of the Monsters. If they blocked our first move, Queen of the Monsters becomes a 7 for 10. Get a momentum, build anything out we want, and draw a card. So this actually kind of greases that wheels with the Queen of the Monsters, almost to the point where you could probably play 3 of these and probably not feel bad about it. Now, we're not always going to have Protector of Life in our hands, so we do need some throw hate, some off-zone block, shoring. Mikasa defeats the female Titan. 2 difficulty, 4 check, 3 low block, response flip. After you block an attack, that attack deals no damage. Easy to say. Just says, hey man, block the move, deals no damage. Do get on hits, no burn from Hedora, nothing like that. No card draw on hit, no destruction on hit, nothing. You get nothing, sir. You get nothing. So it's very good on. After Mothra, we full block the move, and then we can partial block the next move, and then flip this, if we need to. I love doubling up on speed hate. It's just the way I am. Aaron Sidestep, 4 copies. 2 difficulty, 5 check, 3 high block, enhance flip. This attack gets -2 speed. If it is completely blocked, we get to draw a card. So we get to give the move. So if we're going to use Mothra, we could technically flip this to give it -2 speed, use Mothra. It's going to be completely blocked, and we get to draw the card for just committing our character, which is kind of wild if you think about it. Keikosei, 3 copies, 2 difficulty, 5 check, 3 high block, response flip. After you block an attack, your rival's next attack gets +2 difficulty. So technically, I believe I will need a clarification, because I believe Mothra says this attack is so we block it during the block step with Mothra, and then we get to flip Keikosei for +2 difficulty on their next move. I believe that works. I will have to get a clarification, because technically we are still blocking. We are blocking an attack during the block step, so we should be able to do this. And then we get to just Keikosei them and say, hey man, you're going to have to pay attacks to attack me. Now going into our sideboard, we got 3 copies of Filled with Doubt, because it's Filled with Doubt, and we're a 7-hander, and we don't want to die. 2 difficulty, 5 check, 2 mid block, response. After your rival plays this attack, seal it. so they don't get all their cool stuff. We only want to be able to do cool stuff. So this is mostly for like throw hate, maybe attacks that get super huge that we can't. I mean, like after we Mothra block, this allows us to not have to worry about it. 1 team Dr. Ichigaki, 2 difficulty, 5 check, 2 mid block response remove after a non-keyword ability is played on a non-character card. Cancel it. So just cancel it. We don't want them to deal anything. No. Just no. We want to tell people no, and that allows us to. 2 copies of Immense Showdown, 1 difficulty, 5 check, 2 low block, enhance, flip, add 2 cards from either player's from a player's discard pile to the bottom of their deck in any order. This allows us to like maybe shove down some, you know, like Rodan has high block mods on top. We don't want them to have it. Combine fire powers to the bottom. Maybe they're tutoring stuff out. Maybe like, you know, they're a Hunter's Ally deck and we don't want them to have the allies. So we just shove them all to the bottom. Also, Deadlock Form, sacrifice, add 1 attack with a printed difficulty of 5 or greater from your discard pile to your hand. Just allows us to, if they're gonna, you know, people need a lot of foundations against Mothra to block sometimes. So this allows us to add like a double Spirit Blast or Spirit Gun Final into our hand, or a Queen of the Monsters when we need it, for a sweet, sweet sacrifice. So, you know, sometimes it's worth it, sometimes it's not. Just now we're gonna round out you know, some play sets and get to a 3 of a couple cards in our. We got 2 more copies of Mikasa Defeats the Female Titan, 1 more copy of Substitute Member, and 1 more copy of Protector of Life if needed. Like if we're playing against a heavy throw deck, we can side out, you know, maybe an attack, because, you know, this kind of gives us 2 damage in a way and just allows us to, you know, survive. So guys, that's my Mothra Divine Moth off the good symbol list that I am playing tonight at locals. So please check it out. Don't forget to like, share, comment, subscribe, hit those bells for notifications. And I'll leave the link to the Twitch channel. It'll also be on the YouTube channel if you guys are interested in watching. And let's see if we can do anything with this deck. Because all I've seen is people play prison decks that are 80 cards plus, and I believe this character can just railgun people to death, and I'm going to try to do that. So. Yeah, so we're here for, and to quote my buddy Trent, we're here for a fun time, not a long time. So, again, don't forget to like, share, comment, subscribe, hit those bells for notifications, and until the next one, take care.